Hi, I'm Garcella Robinson and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. So today I plan on bringing you guys a wrap up of everything that I read in the month of September. And yeah, let's just get into it. I'm finally able to bring you guys this update, and like I said, I did my TBR prompt jar for September and I was only able to finish 4 books. I had so much going on. It was just a lot going on. I was just trying to make time for it, and then the time just wasn't adding up. I was trying to crunch everything together, i.e. my homework, going to work, and reading my books. And it was just hard to get through all those books, especially with me making my TBR so big. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't want to be giving no excuses, but I also tell myself that there is no rush to get to these books. That's why I got them. They're a hobby of mine. Like, I rule over my books don't rule over me. Okay. Now I will say I tried getting through to those 4 books and I was just unable to. I am currently reading 2, which is Blood Sion and the 3rd book in the Game of Thrones. I made like a lot of pretty much a lot of leeway on throughout those books, so of course they won't be getting included, but I'm for sure gonna finish them in the month of October. And like I said, if you haven't watched my past video, I do plan on putting the 2 books that I didn't read, which was Aragon and the 3rd book in the Lost Cities trilogy or chronicles. I am putting those back on the shelf to potentially get picked another time. So in the month of September, I read 13 books. The pages that I read was 2,577, and my average rating was a 3.45. Starting with the first book, I read Just Like Home. I rated this 4 stars. Then I followed that by Lone Wolf. I read this on my Kindle. I rated this 3 stars. Next, I read A Grumpy Streets Billionaire's Secret Baby. I rated this 4 stars, and yeah, I've actually liked these books. Like, I like the books by this author. She really doesn't have a lot, but I really loved this one, and I do plan on reading more by her. This was such a surprise, but you know, I love me some smutty baby romances, so yeah. But I do plan on reading more by her, and hopefully she come out with more books just like this one. Then next, I read That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human, and That Time I Got Drunk and Read a Love Potion at a Werewolf. Now, of course, if you've been staying here for a minute, you know Kimberly Lemmings is a new author that I am falling in love with, guys, okay? And I ended up reading both of these books. I was only supposed to read one of these, which was this one. I was supposed to only read this one, but literally when I picked this one up, I finished this that same night, and I was like, you know what, I picked up this one and I ended up reading this that same night. So if you haven't read anything by Kimberly Lemmings, y'all need to pick it up right now, okay? And because I was obsessed with those books by Kimberly Lemming, I had to pick up some more paranormal romances with, of course, well, by Jalea West. I just picked up a whole bunch. Pretty much I read like her whole entire series on this, and I fell in love. I can't wait to get more books by her, but the one that I read was Another Girl Meets a Wolf. Another Girl Meets a Wolf Story. It was like a curvy girl. Another Girl Meets Vamp. Another Girl Meets Gargoyle. And I believe that was the only one. Yeah. A series that I could finally crossed off my list. This was a part of my September TBR prompt jar, and that was Two Twisted Crowns. Now, guys, yes, we'll get more into it, but I rated this a 2.5 stars. Next, I read A Songbird in the Heart of Stone. I rated this 4 stars, and I rated this 4 stars. Next, I end up reading Cold Snap by Jissa Dean. This is an author that I've been following for a minute. I ended up mentioning her in the first video I ever made on this channel. But yes, I read Cold Snap. I rated this 3 stars. Next, I read Claimed by My Ex's Dad. I rated this 4 stars. Last book I read in the month of September was Praise Me Pilot by Jessica Kane. And I rated this 3 stars. I will say I was happy that I was able to fit at least 13 books in this month, especially with it being so busy. And a lot is, you could tell, is let's, of course, the recap. I end up reading a whole bunch of romances, mainly because at nighttime I just, I feel like it's something to pick up right before I go to bed, so it worked perfectly for me. But I really wished I would have been able to get to those other four books. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist or anything like that, because I'm not. But I will say that it kind of like, it got to me a little bit that I wasn't able to finish those four books. But like I said, I'm reading the books. The books ain't reading me, okay? I'm not about to sit there and force myself and rush through books when I can be able to find the actual enjoyment in them, and not, I just so I could be able to enjoy my books and not just make it just like, oh yeah, I got done with this book. And there's always more time to read each book that I have on my shelves, and I don't want to force myself into rushing through those books. Like I said, I don't want to rush myself through forcing reading those books. I love to read, but I also want to be able to enjoy them and to be able to talk about them later on when the subjects come up, possibly. Okay, guys, now that y'all done seen every book that I read this month, it is time to get into the nitty gritty. And the first one that we're going to start off with is my surprises for September. I only have one surprise for this month, and that is the Songbird and the Heart of Stone. Now, the reason why this is such a surprise to me, because when I was reading the comments, I was hearing a lot of, yeah, sorry for the pitter patter, my dog keep running around. But I ended up, when I had picked this book up and I saw the reviews on it, I was just not expecting the things that happened. Pretty much, I just didn't have high hopes for this book, and I really thought that it was going to be just, I didn't think it was going to be super good. Mainly because even the last books, I just felt like they were really entertaining, but it wasn't nothing to, like, write home about. But yes, I ended up loving this book. I was so surprised of it. I love the characters, and I love the way the author depicted the main character. What was her name? Sorry, I'm blinking. Mish. Yeah, Mish. I loved how she ended up putting me. She ended up posting a picture on her. She ended up posting a picture on her Instagram, and oh my goodness, that picture looks so cute. And I feel like it depicted like a dark skinned main lead so well done. And I just loved it so much. And it was nice for the author to even give us that visual, because there's not really a lot of representation, especially done by other ethnicities of Black women. So I really love this so much, and I love the book. And that's not just saying like, oh yeah, I'm only saying that because the main character was Black. No, I'm not saying that. I am saying it's just not done all good all the time, and she did a wondrous job. Very done. Well done. Well done. I really love this book, and I end up picking up the second book too. Now getting into my least favorites. So my least favorites was Two Twisted Crowns. I'm gonna mention this one first because I'm not gonna lie, this book angered me so much. I feel like mainly because everything just felt so, I wouldn't say rushed. I just wasn't able to enjoy it. And people were telling me like, oh yeah, it's a good book, it's a good book, and I did not like it at all. Yeah, I did not like it at all. I don't know if it had to do with the audiobook I was listening to, but I don't think so, because even when I picked up the book and I was reading it myself, I just couldn't get into it. I hate it. Tell you the truth, I feel like what I didn't like about it the most was pretty much Raven and I forgot her name, Espeth. Raven and Espeth romance, I did not like it at all. I felt like it just kept getting in the way. It was aggravating. And also too, I hated how the Shepherd King, I hated how, like, I don't know, I hated how they seen him as a bad guy. I really liked the Shepherd King, and I pretty much liked everything he stood, well, not everything that he stood for, but yeah, it was just aggravating. And then there was instances like with the brother and stuff. There was just too much going on, and I did not like it. It was just so cringe. Like, I was cringing at everything, and mainly the romance. That mess was just so cringe. But I did love the princess and her cousin. I love their romance, but it was just like a slow burn. It was good. It was done well. But man, it was just so trash. It was so trash. Like I don't know, just pick it up. You pick it up yourself. If maybe I don't know if it was just me, but I just felt like the whole entire story was cringe. Like it was just cringe. I was cringe. I was like, ugh. And then not even just that. When I was listening to the audiobook and my sister was in the car, even she was saying it was cringe. And it's kind of crazy because I guess like I wouldn't say her opinion doesn't matter. I'm not saying that. It's more because like when she was listening to it, we ended up listening to a horror book together, and she really liked that one, but this one, no, no. There was times I was just sitting there like, be for real, be for real. But yes, and that's why I ended up rating it 2.5. I really wanted to give it a 2, but yeah. Guys, I don't even have much to say because I was just so disappointed. Like I was just so disappointed. The next book that was a disappointment to me was Cold Snap by Jessadine. I have been, well, pretty much, like, I believe it was like last year or the year after that, I ended up discovering Jessadine books. And I loved her old books so much. They were so good. I really loved the romance in it, the smut, of course. And she just did it so well. But I feel like her new books, she just don't seem interested. And I feel like the same thing happened with Jessadine. Like, well, not Jessadine, Jessica Kane. Like, when she started writing first, well, when she started writing her books, it was good, and then it kind of just fell off. And I feel like it's mainly because when you're trying to produce romance books like back to back to back, you start to kind of lose interest in what you're writing. That's just like when you be reading romance books over and over again. Sometimes they can get a little bit dull because there isn't nothing new happening. And I feel like this author, well, pretty much, I feel like she's doing the same thing, and I really just want her to take a break. Like, she just need a break because the books that she's been coming out with now, like, I just haven't been liking them at all. I haven't been feeling like they're giving me that you know, that that she put in her old books when she first started writing. So yeah, it was just a disappointment, and I hope that she's able to come out with better books that's similar to her old ones, because I really love those ones way better than I am now. Like, these new ones, they just don't hit like the old ones. It's so bad that after I end up reading a new book of hers, I end up going straight back to the old ones and just rereading those ones. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on my favorite ones. Just know that these are my favorites of this year. Like, they stood out the most to me. And the first one that I want to mention is A Grumpy Street Billionaire's Secret Baby. I really love this book so much. I really loved it so much, and it was just so good. It was so good. Now, the next book that was on top of my list was, of course, the 2 books by Kimberly Lemming. I love these ones so much. This one is with the first person, like, you know, the first book of That Time I Got Drunk to Save a Demon. This is with her best friend, and this is with her sister. I just love these so much, especially because in this one, like, you could see the main lead, especially after him end up getting a love potion and they're trying to break it because it could possibly harm him. And with this one, like, this was just so heartfelt because the dragon that was in the first one, who they end up finding, he's the lightning, well, pretty much a lightning dragon, yeah. He ended up finding the sister, and it all comes back around. And there's pretty much a part in here that could literally solve the whole book, but she's too scared to say because she want to protect her family, and she don't even know that he know her family. So yeah, they pretty much just traveling, hiding. She trying to hide the secret and also trying to get away from him. But you know, everything always works out. Everything always works out, and I love these so much, and I can't wait to get more books from her that she's writing. I'm actually about to read, because they just came out with, who is it? It's Allie Hazelwood, Christina Laguerre, I believe it is, Ruby Dixon, my girl, and also Kimberly Lemming. They came out with some short tellings, and I read the first 2 books. I'm happy that I'm going to be able to bring it up in my October reads, but I've been reading those and I'm already in love, so I can't wait to get to that one. It's supposed to be the last one in the series. So guys, I'm so happy to finally get this video out the way. This was supposed to have been a long time coming. I've been putting it off because I've been like, this is literally my last week for the semester, and I ended up finishing, well, last week was the last week of the semester, and I end up just having, because I go to the gym too, and I be doing homework, so I just had to try to fit a lot of time, and trying to fit recording time is just all the time is just not it. So that's why I should have a better plan. But that ain't nothing for you to worry about. Just worry about them videos coming out, okay? Because they will continue to come out because I love doing this for y'all. But anyway, so yes, those are all the books I read in the month of September. I can't wait to read even more in October and to be able to possibly get through my whole TBR because I was a little bit more I pretty much was like, you know what, let me do 5 instead of 8, and let me make sure these are medium-sized books when I choose them. But yes, in either way, it worked out. If you want to be able to see that video, I'm pretty sure it's going to be at the end, or you could check it out on my channel. But yes, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of my ratings, if you end up having different opinions and that you already read these ones, or if y'all have any books that y'all have read, and well, what books did y'all read in the month of September. But thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.